Hey guys, it's Dr. B. This is a more specific video about the course design, what you have to do, how to find what you need, etc. First thing you would do would be go to content here. And some of this video was in the last one, but most of it is more specific. Welcome to genetics. There'll be a video under here, and this just basically gives you a little bit of an intro about the course. This is literally the video you're watching right now. So that's kind of weird and two-dimensional. How to contact me. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to link to sign up to Edpuzzle lectures. And once you link to sign them up, that's just where my lectures are. You don't need to go to that specific site to do the assignments. They are embedded in each of the week's work. So I will get to that. Literally, we're just going down the list here. Next thing you're going to do is check out the syllabus. This links to where it is. Next thing you're going to do is check out the course policies and schedule. This is new to you, but the college has changed its policy for grades. So you are now graded 90, 80, 70, 60 in terms of A, B, C, and D respectively. These are how your grades are broken up. We spend a lot of time on lab, but lab is embedded into a lot of the lecture work I do. And also the lab reports are embedded in the lecture grade as well. Students were feeling that they were spending so much time on lab and it was only worth 25% of their grade. So the way we fix that is the lab reports are actually part of your exam lecture grade, which means they count for more. So this is how you are graded. Again, anything that's late, 20% reduced per grade. That's just the way it is. So get stuff on time, and we'll talk about how to do that. Makeup exams I will address later. These are all the different resources I created to help you out. You can read all of them later. But the part I stressed in the other video and this one as well are due dates of items. So this is definitely where you want to make sure you're up to task. And what else you'll see is a breakdown of this top part, which is all of the lecture work, and then this bottom part, which is the lab work. And again, remember that this says week of because some of you are showing up on Monday and some of you are showing up on Wednesday. So this is basically when everything is due, which should help with a lot of stuff, especially organization. Alrighty, so let's go back here and hit up the next thing on our list. So once we've done that, there's also a weekly checklist. All of this stuff aligns. The weekly checklist, I'll be adding to it every week. It tells you exactly what is due when, which you should be working on for both lecture and lab. And that'll be much more clear when I explain this in class as well. I guess, how do I do that? See, I'm still learning some of the ins and outs of D2L. Alrighty. The learning materials. So if you go to learning materials, you want to click on exam 1. And this is everything for the 4 chapters. Everything's in there. So this is everything for chapter 2, including the Edpuzzle lectures with activities in them, worksheets, all kinds of stuff. This is your chapter 2 Connect assignment. If I go to chapter 3, you'll see everything there for chapter 3. Edpuzzle videos, assignments, Matt, you get it. There's a quiz for chapter 3. All the due dates are there. You do all of this stuff through D2L. There's chapter 4 and there's chapter 6. So literally everything that you need or that we'll be working on is in here, and this is where you would do it. The last little part is lab activities. Actually, I have 2 last little parts. And basically, when we get into class, I'm going to get or give you access to the Google Drive. This just kind of shows you how to access it, not the specific drive. We're going to do that in person. But if you do not have a Gmail and you're like, I don't know, I don't have a Gmail account, I don't know where my drive is. Well, everybody has a Google Drive account because it's through Delaware Tech. So if you want to use your own personal Gmail as a Google Drive account, that's fine. If you don't want to, you already have one. So if you go onto your resources and you scroll down here and hit Google Drive, it'll send you to a Google Drive. Then once you're at the Google Drive, this is my home Google Drive. The way you would access all of our stuff would be to go with the shared with me or shared drive. Typically it's shared with me. And if you look down here, by the way, remember, you're not going to see any of this. You're just going to see the one that says research at Delaware Tech because that's the one I'm going to share with you. And in there will be all kinds of stuff, from areas of research to all these other machines and techniques and primers and SOPs, and that'll all make sense later. But clearly you're going to go to where it says genetics here. And then once you go into the genetics, you're going to see that there is the genetics lab information, and then the other class, molecular biology and future lab. So you're going to go into our genetics labs, and you'll see that here's our first lab. So everything for lab is in here. And I'll be giving you papers and copies of this in class as well. It's just loading up. It's taking a second. But it's in there, trust me. So that's where we can access all of our lab information and everything with lab. And the reason why I use Google Drive is a lot of these labs, you guys are going to be putting data in and collectively analyzing them later. So Google Drive is a very convenient system for sharing data when you need it to do lab reports and whatnot. So that is that. There's also going to be a calendar that I'm going to put later on, not yet, but after the course starts. And the particular calendar is going to be also embedded in D2L. It's a Google Calendar, so it has everything you need. You could look at it if you want like this, where you would just pick the date. You know, obviously here's cohort A and cohort B, and you click on it, it would tell you exactly what we're doing every day. You could also, if you want to do it more of like an agenda view, called schedule, and so you can kind of see you know, every single week, you know, what we're doing, what the due dates are, and whatnot. So that is just yet another way to keep you organized. So if you have any questions before the first day of class, and obviously with the McGraw-Hill access, you know, you can get that code. I talked about it in my last video, and I can also show you how to do all this the first day of class. But this should be enough to get you ready to start till I see you on either the 31st or the 2nd. All right, this is Dr. B signing off.